About $192,000 of headroom separates the strongest value play from a $900,000 Seattle budget. This countdown shows what $900,000 buys across 5 Seattle neighborhoods in 2026. The key here is not just finding places under the budget line. It is finding neighborhoods where the price, the street life, and the in-city location all make sense together. Every pick comes in below $900,000 on a blended median basis, but the cushion changes dramatically from one neighborhood to the next. We are counting down from the tightest fit to the strongest budget gap. Number 5, Fremont. Fremont is the closest call in the countdown. Zillow's home value estimates from May 2026 put the median home price here around $899,000, which leaves only about $1,000 of room under a $900,000 budget. The focus point is North 36th Street, where Fremont's in-city energy is most visible. Walk Score rates Fremont at 97, so the neighborhood lands very high on day-to-day walkability. That tiny cushion is the whole story with Fremont. If the target is $900,000, this is the neighborhood where the budget technically works, but there is almost no room for price movement, upgrades, or a competitive offer that climbs above the median. In plain English, Fremont is the pick for buyers who want to stay in Seattle, stay very walkable, and accept that the price point is pressed right against the ceiling. It is not the place with extra breathing room. It is the place that shows how narrow the margin can get when a neighborhood is both central and highly walkable. The trade-off is worth saying out loud. At this budget, in-city Seattle often means smaller lots than suburban alternatives, and condo or townhouse competition can move quickly when a well-positioned home appears. Fremont still earns a place because it slips under the $900,000 mark while bringing one of the highest walk scores among the 5. But if you are comparing purely by cash left over, Fremont is the tightest squeeze. Number 4. University District. University District comes in just below Fremont on price, with a median around $882,000. That leaves about $18,000 of headroom under a $900,000 budget, centered around University Way Northeast, known locally as the Ave. The walk score here is 77, which is lower than Fremont, but still points to a connected, in-city neighborhood. The price gap is small, but it is meaningfully wider than Fremont's. What makes University District relevant in a $900,000 search is that the budget is still close to the neighborhood's middle, not far below it. That means buyers are not only hunting on the very bottom edge of the market, but they are also not walking in with a huge cushion. The Ave gives the area a clear spine, which helps define where the neighborhood's activity gathers. For someone comparing Seattle neighborhoods strictly inside city limits, University District offers a more noticeable buffer than Fremont, while keeping the search anchored in a recognizable urban corridor. The honest caution is that $18,000 can disappear quickly in a competitive purchase. That is not a large gap when inspections, offer strategy, and property condition all come into play. The benefit is that the median is still below the budget, and the location remains fully in-city rather than pushing the search outside Seattle. University District is the first step away from barely under budget and toward a little more operating room. Number 3. Eastlake. Eastlake takes the middle spot with a median around $872,000. That puts the neighborhood about $28,000 under a $900,000 budget, with Eastlake Avenue East serving as the main corridor. Its walk score is 82, placing it between University District and the highest walkability picks, near the top. On paper, Eastlake gives a bit more cushion without moving away from a central Seattle setting. The reason Eastlake ranks above University District is simple. The median is lower and the budget gap is wider. $28,000 is still not a huge margin, but it creates more space than the first 2 neighborhoods. Eastlake Avenue East gives the neighborhood a straightforward layout, so the search feels concentrated rather than sprawling. For a buyer trying to understand what $900,000 buys in Seattle, Eastlake shows the next tier of flexibility, still close to the ceiling, but not quite as compressed. This is also where the comparison starts to feel more balanced. Fremont delivers the highest walkability among the first 3. University District gives a recognizable corridor around the Ave, and Eastlake offers a slightly stronger budget position while keeping an in-city profile. The trade-off remains the same across much of Seattle. At this price, property type and condition can matter as much as the neighborhood name. A home right at the median can feel very different from one priced lower because of updates, layout, or building style. Eastlake's place at number 3 is not about a dramatic bargain. It is about a practical midpoint. You are still spending close to the full $900,000, but the difference between almost no headroom and about $28,000 is real. In a city where small gaps can change the search, Eastlake earns its ranking by combining a central corridor, solid walkability, and a median that gives the budget just a little more room to work. Number 2. Columbia City. Columbia City is where the countdown changes tone. The median sits around $794,000, leaving roughly $106,000 of headroom under a $900,000 budget. Rainier Avenue South runs through the neighborhood's core, giving Columbia City a clear main route and neighborhood center. The walk score is 92, which puts it near the top of the countdown for walkability, while also creating a much larger budget cushion than the first 3 picks. That combination is why Columbia City lands at number 2. It is not just below the budget, it is comfortably below the budget, compared with Fremont, University District, and Eastlake. The extra headroom can matter when a buyer wants more room to respond to competition, evaluate condition, or keep some flexibility after closing. In an in-city Seattle search, a 6-figure gap under the budget line stands out. Rainier Avenue South is important because it gives the neighborhood a recognizable spine, rather than making the search feel scattered. For the topic of what $900,000 buys, that matters. You are not only comparing price tags, you are comparing how the neighborhood functions around its core streets. Columbia City brings a high walk score and a median that leaves meaningful budget space. That makes it one of the strongest all-around entries in this group. The trade-off is that the Seattle market can still move quickly, especially where walkability and a lower median line up. A larger cushion does not guarantee a slow or simple search, but Columbia City gives the budget a different feel. Instead of stretching to meet the neighborhood, the budget has room beneath the median. That is why it beats the close call neighborhoods and sets up the top spot. Number 1. Denny Triangle. Denny Triangle takes the top spot with a blended median around $708,000. That is roughly $192,000 under a $900,000 budget, the largest headroom figure in the countdown. Denny Way acts as the neighborhood's main spine, and the walk score is 99, the highest among these 5 picks.
For a buyer focused on staying inside Seattle, that price-to-walkability combination is the standout.
The ranking is not just about being the lowest priced entry. It is about how much room remains after the median number is compared with the budget. Denny Triangle gives almost $200,000 of cushion while still sitting in a highly walkable part of the city. That is a very different budget position from Fremont, where the median nearly touches the full $900,000. This is also where the word blended matters. In an area with a more urban housing mix, the median can reflect condos and other in-city property types, so buyers need to compare the actual home style carefully. The budget may stretch further on paper, but the search can still be shaped by homeowners association dues, building features, layout, and competition for well-located units. The advantage is that the starting point is far below the budget ceiling compared with the other 4 neighborhoods. Denny Triangle's walk score of 99 reinforces why it ranks first for this specific episode. You are not trading walkability away to get the largest budget gap. You are getting the biggest headroom figure and the strongest walk score in the same neighborhood. In a countdown about what $900,000 buys inside Seattle in 2026, that is the clearest value signal among the 5. So the 5 are Fremont, University District, Eastlake, Columbia City, and Denny Triangle. The pattern is clear. $900,000 still opens several in-city choices, but the cushion varies sharply. Every number in this video is sourced, with links in the description. Which neighborhood would have made your top 5? If this helped, tap like and subscribe. Tell me what Seattle budget or neighborhood comparison you want next.